Hey folks, welcome to Kaisers Kastle. I have some thoughts on certain things that have become very apparent lately. A lot of people are talking smack, this, that, and the other. I especially enjoyed a certain cop's little op-ed on decrying why people are actually arguing that the cowardice of a certain sheriff's department, Broward County, on display, how they should shut their pie holes. Well, I seem to have an issue with that. And I'm going to make it very clear why I have that issue. First, I'll give you, just because I have to, because most of you don't know me, I started out as an Army military policeman. 17 I joined. It was inculcated to me that as an MP, the primary thing was that you were of the troops for the troops. That meant you were in the Army and your mission was to be all about the troops, protecting them. Protect, defend, and assist our own. That was our motto. I believed it. I bought into it. Then I went on into the Marine Corps. I was a military policeman there. The same kind of things were put upon us. First, it's a chosen profession. It is a service profession. Because even when I was in the federal government, you're still a civil servant. You have a duty to react regardless of what the Supreme Court has held. At least personally, I felt this. And on that petard, I will stand. This is something I know deeply. We have some problems right now. Those problems are pretty easy to diagnose. I'm going to be very honest with you. Major problem that I see is that in the screening process, because, you know, all that matters is you take a civil servant's exam, right? What you'll find is they've taken away, during the process of finding people of courage, for the most part. And this only, let me rephrase that. This mostly applies to either departments who are, I can't even put it politely, nepotistic, or there's just massive departments that need people, or they federally are being forced to take people just because of whatever. You know, the federal government has all kinds of BS stuff. But courage, duty, those two things, that sense of, you can get a sense of that through an interview, through a process. You can also ferret people out through the training time, and you see how they react under pressure and stress. And trust me, civil law enforcement, I've been through my state's police academy, and I've seen how that process can fail because of, you know, we need certain amount of whatevers. That's all I'm going to say. Now, with that being said, there was a failure down there, and the failure is very clear. The failure is that for some reason, deputies, either by order or just chose not to go in. Now remember, during the Second World War, following orders was not an excuse during the Nuremberg trials. And also, if you just decide you're not going to do something, well, that's nonfeasance. That's actually a crime. 1984 Color of Law, USC. Look it up. It's something anybody who has any enforcement, any way to put upon you a problem with your civil liberties, can be held to. Civilly. Sometimes criminally. So the muff fake that I'm seeing going on, people miss the point. Remember, the name sin simply means missing the target. But of course, we live in this fast fashion news cycle, you know, this Depeche Mode, where we have to come out with a cutting edge new thing. No. You have to slow it down and look at the facts as they present themselves. A few days ago, if I would have said one deputy was the only one that was standing down, that would have been correct, but it would have been incorrect because it was 4 of them. Now, getting off that subject, training and duty, those 2 things I want to cover. First, duty. As a contractor and also as a Fed, I have protected people that I disagreed with politically, vehemently, socially, vehemently, but still, I had total buy-in. That means I don't care who they are, what they are. This is my job, and I hate that word because it is a profession and it is a calling like the priesthood. I do believe that. Because if you get total buy-in, that's what it is. I would put myself in the line of fire for them. Didn't mean I liked them. Didn't mean I loved them. Now, did I want to come home and see my kid? Did I want to come home and see my wife? Yes, I did. The people that say that, that's exactly correct. But there's something that has to override that. And the only way to override that is a survival mindset. And that survival mindset says no matter what happens, I'm either going home or I'm not. But my client will. I protected people that I didn't agree with politically, socially, or religiously. And I will stand on that. Always. Unashamed. I always make the comment, my politics do not reflect anybody that ever comes on this show. This podcast, whatever you want to call it, live stream. And I'll stand on that. I'll have anybody on. One person I know who's a deputy, adjacent county, he actually has some training programs that when he showed them to me, I was like, you know, wow, good stuff. So these people, when they say there's no solutions, there's nobody out there working on solutions, I call bullshit on. Because the active mind of anybody in this game right now, in law enforcement, in that game, I'm no longer in that game. In that game right now, you have you still have the leftovers from like when I came in the mid 80s that are still passing down knowledge. This is knowledge that has been passed on from combat vets to police. These people become police. Military vets become police, become contractors. I mean, this is the way this role works. Gun carriers are gun carriers. And so you can always have that man that will come up with a true ability to put into action and train people for these types of events. The problem is, a lot of times the police unions won't allow it because, you know, they have their trainers. The governments won't allow it because he's not officially a trainer. I've seen this stuff. You think I'm making this up? I'm not. The best thing about being a soldier and then a Marine in the 80s and early 90s, I'll tell you what it was. It didn't matter your rank. First, there was mentorship, where men above your rank would actually mentor you to take their job. Secondly, their actual rank job, if something happened to them. That was vital. And secondly, the thing about it was, it didn't matter your rank. If you had a plan, if you had an idea, if you had a training methodology that you could articulate, put down on paper, you could institute it and deliver classes. We used to call it hip pocket training. What they called later on in law enforcement, it was called you're going into the daggone training room and you're just talking about things, before duty, before your shift starts, and you're just getting a breakdown of what's going on. I don't really want to get into a lot of police jargon, but that's pretty much what it was. And people would say, oh, this thing's going on here, this thing's going on there. You're passing down information. That's all it is. Well, that's what we're missing. And then once you start mixing politics into this garbage, oh my God, it's off the chain then. Because then all of a sudden you're getting hamstrung by either the federal, state, or local, or county, politicos. It's all incorrect. Look at the FBI. They miss 2 reports on this dude, right? Because they're more concerned with becoming a political animal than they are at actually doing any investigation and real work. This is my opinion and my opinion only, and I am the foremost expert on my opinion. The sheriff's department 39 times visited that monster's house and did nothing. They might have not done nothing because his last name was Cruz. You ever think about that? You remember you had that little guy, George, who shot, I can't remember his name, Trayvon? That's Trayvon. And when he shot him, what'd they call him? A white Hispanic. Wow. It's neat how they like to pull these little maneuvers, and it's the government. It's stupid. It's retarded. I've never met a cop that based everything he did on people's race. That's retarded. You present yourself to them in a criminal way, you're going to be looked at in a criminal way, as I would be. So all that shit's got to go out the window when you're actually talking about doing your job and doing it ethically and morally. But see, morals are even taken out of the whole fucking game. So this is my opinion. And if you guys disagree, that's all good. I don't care. But I'm spitting truth right now. The training issues do need to be addressed. They need to stop the impediments and get them implemented. And hopefully I will have that deputy on and we can talk about his philosophy on training. It's very sound. I happen to have had the privilege to serve with him in the Army. That's really all I got on this matter. I knew I had to speak on it because I don't think anybody's actually tackled. And also, I'm telling you right now, it's ingrained in us from in the day and even today. If I would have been the one standing out there, I would have went in. I may have appraised the situation and taken a couple seconds, but I'm going in. As soon as I hear the pop. And these people saying, well, you wouldn't go in if it's an AR-15. You hear the rounds going off. You don't know what the heck round they're firing. You hear the pops. It's not until you get visual on it that you're going to see that. I heard some idiot saying, yeah, 100 yards away, you're not going to hit him. You're in a hallway. I'm sorry, I've been to a lot of big schools and I've never seen a 100-yard hallway. It's just all this muff fake. You have to realize the media's fake. They're lying to you. They're manipulating you. And they blame an inanimate object. And this entire time I've been talking to you, I have a loaded gun in a holster under my table. And guess what? It didn't go off magically. That gun could stand there for 1,000,000 years. And unless somebody physically picked it up and manipulated that trigger, it's not going to go bang. So start getting real with life. I know I sound pissed. I kind of am. We're not talking conspiracy theory. We're not talking shit. We're just talking about duty and honor. Anyways, thanks for stopping by Kaisers Kastle. You guys have a great night and day, whatever. God bless. Shove out.